Chapter 449. Devil's Lap Pillow. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Chapter 449. Devil's Lap Pillow. While Lucien walks to the edge of the battlefield, Alexa and Helena follow him with timid expressions. His sisters and the Sins also follow them, while his wives and troops keep an eye on the angels, not that they were really going to do anything after Alexa's clear orders. After approaching the improvised camp, Lucien walks over to the big tree where he talked to Helena below, making her face blush even more. Why here? This is so embarrassing. Helena looks at the place where she let Lucien hug her. Anyone with a power level as high as Alexa's has potent senses, and she quickly notices the smell of Helena and Lucien on the bottom of that tree's trunk. Those scents are very mixed, making her imagine many possibilities. Alexa looks at her grandmother in the eyes while she is silent and makes a confused expression, leaving Helena even timider. Here is great. Lucien exclaims as he sits in the same place he sat when he talked to Helena. Stupid devil. I know what you are trying to do, and there is no chance that it will happen. Helena yells at Lucien in her mind as she just gazes at him with a fake upset expression. When she suggested an alliance between him and Alexa, she knew that their relationship would probably evolve into something more than a partnership, regardless of whether she currently has a partner. And in fact, she wants it. She wants Alexa to have someone overprotective like Lucien taking care of her. But, Helena definitely doesn't want to get romantically involved with him and end up in a strange situation that she often sees happening with his wives. Okay, so. Lucien teasingly smiles at Alexa as he taps his thigh. Lucien. She speaks in a timid and hesitant tone. Is that really necessary? I mean, I'm willing to listen to your proposals and everything else, but it seems really inappropriate. Inappropriate? He asks. Why would it be inappropriate? I'm not going to eat you, and well, you don't have a husband, so that shouldn't be a problem either. Why are you sure I don't have a husband? Was that what Genevieve told you? She asks. He shakes his head. She didn't tell me anything about your private life. But I concluded that because you proposed to lie on my lap. I mean, even if you were sure to knock me out, you wouldn't make such a proposal if you had a husband or partner, because you are not the type of person who likes to humiliate others. Sigh. Alexa can't deny his reasoning and wonder if that was a compliment. Come on, don't be shy, Lucien speaks in a friendly tone. I can't believe I actually proposed this. But how would I know he is so strong in the earth realm? He must have cheated. Alexa starts to blame herself while still not understanding how Lucien could resist her brutal attacks. Then she looks at her grandmother with a fake upset expression. Did you really plan against your granddaughter? Helena rolls her eyes. I just wanted you to talk to him. But you had to act so confidently. Your arrogance is the one to blame for things ending up like this. Alexa puts her hand on Helena's shoulder while doing a sorry look. You're right, Grandma. Even after everything I've been through, I still have a lot to learn. Yep. Helena smiles before looking at Lucien. Both of us still have a lot to learn, and he is the person who can teach us that. This is what we're going to see. Alexa sighs once more before sitting down next to Lucien. Even after that brutal fight and having had a lot of blood and dirt over his body, Lucien's scent is still so damn pleasant, which awakens new feelings in Alexa's body. I can't believe I'm really doing something like this. She comments before looking him in the eye. You know that after that, all the men of my Crassus house and the Corvus house will want to kill you, right? I'm already used to it. Lucien smiles. Also, their jealousy only makes my family stronger. Alexa is confused by Lucien's words, but she doesn't ask questions as she slowly starts to lay her head on his lap. She never thought of doing that with any man and now finds it unbelievable to do that with a guy she just met. After that, she will never underestimate an opponent again. Lucien continues to smile while he is also enjoying Alexa's scent. Even her sweat is perfumed, and he accommodates her long white hair while she rests her head on his thighs. He can't resist starting to caress her hair, which makes Alexa even more embarrassed. Touching me was not part of the deal. All right, all right. He quickly moves his hands away from her hair. But her reactions and expressions are really fun. While Alexa is silent, making a shy expression, Helena can't help but smile. She still fears that mysterious woman, but she can see that Lucien is getting stronger very quickly, and soon his family will be one of the most powerful groups in the universe. So, if he loves Alexa, he will take good care of her, preventing tragedies from continuing to fuck their family. Before starting to speak, Lucien smiles at Helena and taps the empty space next to him, the same place she sat the first time they talked there. Again, she feels that Lucien wants to play a dangerous game, and she fears how things can end. However, she really wants to do everything to make that alliance possible, so she sits next to him while pouting. "You are so cute." So Lucien thinks while he feels like patting Helena's head. She looks like a little girl while Alexa is the one who looks like a mature woman, which is very confusing. While grandmother and granddaughter are too shy to talk, Lucien begins. "Well, you must have a lot of questions, Alexa. While I would be stupid to tell you all my secrets before we make an alliance pact, I am willing to explain how my treasures, or rather, my abilities work." While Alexa is very curious and surprisingly very comfortable on that devil's lap, she listens carefully to his words. Lucien's sisters and the Sins gather around them as he explains to Alexa how his power works and also part of the story of how he and Helena met. He avoids telling important secrets of his family and also that lust and her sisters are the 7 great sins. 1 hour later. "So that's why you said that your treasures don't work on men." Alexa thinks aloud while being shocked and impressed. "Yes." Lucien nods while stroking Alexa's hair. As he was telling her shocking things, she stopped paying attention to his hands, and as her body feels very comfortable, she didn't even notice that he started caressing her head. Her face blushes even more as she imagines Lucien strengthening his girls. "So you keep doing naughty things. And that is why all those women have such powerful auras even though they are in the mortal realm yet." He nods again. "Yes. That's why I can say that I can really help you, or rather, strengthen the women in your group." "How many of them?" Alexa quickly asks. She cannot help but imagine the potential that he can help her troops to reach. "Well, now I don't have any free time because I need to find my other sisters," Lucien explains. "But we can plan it, and in a not too distant future, I could strengthen as many women as you want. Thousands of them will not be a problem, but the fewer women and the longer, the better the results will be." "Thousands of them?" Alexa is shocked. Then she makes a concerned expression. "But will they all have to sleep with you?" He nods. "Exactly. I need to come inside them to it has maximum effect." Alexa gets more flushed than ever while listening to those words. It is evident that she is not used to that subject. "But you're just a man." She thinks out loud as he continues to stroke her hair. Thinking while feeling so comfortable is very good, and she doesn't notice the time passing. Before Lucien says anything else, Helena speaks. "He is definitely not an ordinary man. I can guarantee that he can do everything he's telling, and all the women who sleep with him will not only get stronger but also be very satisfied." "Grandma!" Alexa exclaims as she tries to get up, worried about things she is imagining. But Lucien keeps Alexa's head on his lap while Helena starts desperately shaking her head. "No. No. That is not what you are thinking." While Alexa is perplexed, but her body feels great, Helena quickly explains. "I only know it because I saw and heard things. I had to keep an eye on him and... well, I saw how all the women who did it with him had smiles on their faces for several hours and always wanted to do it more and more." "Didn't you and he really do it?" Alexa asks her grandmother. Helena quickly shakes her head. Of course not. So Alexa makes a thoughtful expression while looking at Helena's dark wings. But what if his power can help you? I'm still trying to understand more about fallen angels, but I still don't know how to solve this problem. In fact, he is the only one who can help her. Sophia quickly comments. Really? Alexa's eyes sparkle with expectation as she gazes at Sophia. Then she quickly looks at her grandmother again. Do it, please. For me, Grandma. Helena gets even more flushed as she looks away. I don't want to talk about it right now. We must first set this alliance. Alexa understands how it is not easy to accept giving the body to someone in that way, but what is at risk is the life of her beloved grandmother, so she sees no problems but only a solution. Grandma. I agreed to hear from him, but I still haven't accepted this alliance. Alexa comments in a threatening tone. Helena looks into her eyes. Even after knowing everything he can do for your group, do you still don't want his help? On the contrary. She makes an imploring expression. I really want his help to strengthen our house. But even if my troops get much stronger, I still won't be able to do it alone. Alexa continues as she caresses Helena's leg. My grandfather abandoned us, Atticus died, Lygia will not live for many more years, and you. I cannot lose you, Grandma. Helena is really sorry for her granddaughter. Everything she went through, all the tragedies of her life since the destruction of Claudius' family, all that pain is still inside her heart, and she doesn't want to see Alexa suffering for that too. But she also doesn't feel like she could open her heart to a man again. It is complicated. I will only accept this alliance if you let him help you. Alexa speaks in a determined tone. Helena doesn't know what to do while Lucien likes Alexa more every second. Meanwhile, Lucien's sisters and the Sins watch that strange family scene, knowing that no matter what they do or say, both grandmother and granddaughter will end up in his bed and will regret creating so many problems, wasting time that they could be doing something else. Underscore 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 underscore. If you want to support me and read more than 200 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/LamentHief. Chapter 450. A Bright Future. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Alexa's request shocks Helena. Her concern is understandable because her situation is really bad, but imposing that as a condition for the alliance with Lucien leaves her with no option. Helena thinks about explaining how her heart is broken, and she doesn't want to be romantically involved with Lucien, risking suffering more in the future. However, the determined expression of her granddaughter makes it clear that she will not give up on that idea. I don't need to fall in love with him. It should just be a few nights. She thinks while looking into Alexa's eyes, who is still lying on Lucien's lap, which makes that situation more embarrassing. Grandma. Alexa asks while Lucien also makes a curious expression. I. Helena starts to stutter as her face blushes even more. I accept. I'll let him help me. But I need some time to prepare myself. Alexa's eyes shine with happiness and expectation. Really? It's okay if you need some time, but don't take too long, please. I'm very concerned about your health. Helena feels like smiling because of the love Alexa shows for her even after they were separated for so many years. But she is still very shy due to that whole situation with Lucien, and he keeps smiling warmly at her while stroking her granddaughter's head. So do we have an alliance? Lucien asks both granddaughter and grandmother. Does only her word will be enough? Pride asks in a sarcastic tone. Although Pride's attitude is hostile due to Alexa being an angel, Lucien cannot deny that their alliance cannot be formed with words alone. He really thinks that Alexa is an honorable and honest woman, but just his intuition is not enough to protect his family. While he thinks about a solution, Alexa looks at Pride with a serious expression. She can see that all those women trust Lucien as their leader, but they still decide things as a group, and Pride has a significant influence on them, especially him. I am willing to make a commitment seal, Alexa speaks in a determined tone. A commitment seal. Lucien can't help but be confused, even though he has an idea of what it is about. Lust quickly materializes her body beside him and explains. It is like the black mark, the life mark, and the soul mark. However, unlike the previous ones, the commitment seal is not made to guarantee the loyalty of diverse people to one, but a powerful enchantment that affects two people equally. Lucien makes a thoughtful expression. So this can guarantee that Alexa nor I will break our alliance, right? Exactly. Lust nods. However, similar to the soul mark, the commitment seal can only be done by immortal realm mages with great experience and requires a lot of magic resources. Before Lucien can ask about that, Alexa speaks, still resting her head on his lap. My grandma's cure is my main concern now, so these resources will not be a problem. Also, I have 2 experienced immortal realm mages with me. Lucien smiles and looks at Pride. What about it? Is it enough? It's not bad. Pride comments, still in an arrogant tone. But at least, she seems to agree. Alexa also smiles because things seem to be going very well for her. Then she looks at Lucien. But you will have to promise to do everything you can to help my grandmother. Even if you didn't ask me, I would still try my best to heal her. She just has to let me do that. He responds. I hope so. Alexa comments. She can't help but imagine him using his peculiar abilities on Helena, and that makes her very embarrassed. But part of her doesn't feel that that is any bad. Her grandfather abandoned their family when her parents died, and Atticus, the man who really deserved Helena's love, died, so Alexa sees no problem with Lucien becoming her new grandfather. He is young but very talented and strong. He also looks kind because all these women look at him with loving expressions. And he is so fucking handsome. While thinking about that, Alexa doesn't notice her face getting even more flushed while her whole body also heats up. But Helena notices that and somehow can imagine what her granddaughter is thinking, what makes her blush too. This situation is so bloody embarrassing. So, to stop thinking about Lucien, Alexa tries to think about other things. We still have the question of the cursed sword. I really need it. I see, Lucien comments as he takes the ghost lady out of his scabbard and puts it on the grass in front of them. The blade immediately starts to vibrate, making it clear that she wants to go back to him. Alexa looks at the ghost lady with an amazed expression. Even swords don't want to get away from him. Is his body made of sugar or something like that? I could give you the sword, but... Lucien starts to speak while looking at the ghost lady with a thoughtful expression. He doesn't use her as his sole weapons, but for some reason, he thinks she can become an excellent weapon if he learns to control her chaotic energies. Yet, you want it, right? Alexa asks. Okay, I understand that it is bizarre that you are controlling it. But you have no idea how I need this sword. It is fundamental to my plans. He makes a curious expression. What do you exactly know about this sword? She explains. Nothing more than legends and rumors, but many sources say the same. Alone the cursed Blade Sisters are like any other cursed weapon, but together they have an overwhelming power. A strange golden light runs through Lucien's eyes. So you don't know much about it. These swords are part of the story of my wife's ancestors. What the foo? Alexa again is shocked, so she looks him in the eye with an incredulous expression. Really? Yeah. Lucien begins to explain what he knows about Adeline and the ghost lady. He doesn't know much beyond the few things that were in Adeline's diary, but that is enough to make Alexa surprised and curious. So, The soul of a person who is possibly an ancestor of your wives is inside the sword. Alexa can't help but be sorry for the women who supposedly turned the two cursed blade sisters. She understands family tragedies well and can easily recognize one. Lucien nods. I think so. Anyway, I need to find out more about it on the brown and blue stars. Also, I need the sword for that. But Alexa makes a concerned expression. I need that overwhelming power to kill the Emperor and give my people a real chance to get free from the gods. Kill the Emperor. Helena is shocked by her granddaughter's plan. He's almost as powerful as a lower god, and trying to attack him is crazy. Alexa explains. But there is no other way to get thousands of angels out of Chia. I have even found a new high world, inhabited by intelligent races and perfect too far from here where we can start over. An unknown world and a far away. Maybe. Alexa's words catch Lucien's attention. He can't help thinking about taking his family to that world after gathering all his loved ones and solving their problems. But at the same time, he knows that there are so many things that he doesn't know about his mother and the sins. So he can't really make plans for such a distant future right now. Alexa's eyes shine as she looks at Lucien. If our alliance is really successful, our people could start a new life in that world. And that would be a world without discrimination and stupid old wars. Lucien smiles as he sees that Alexa's intentions are noble and honest. Maybe one day. But first, I will help you to free your people. Oh, come on, can't you say no to any woman? Pride asks as she rolls her eyes. He makes a stern expression. Think about it, Pride. If we help half the angels to flee, the other half will get under intense pressure and go crazy. The gods will lose their main servants and become weaker, which will be the perfect time for the demons to attack and end this war. Pride and the other sins cannot disagree with Lucien. And while she just maintains an arrogant expression, not really appreciating using such methods to win, others really think it's a good plan. It can really work. Sloth comments. We have tried to destroy the angels many times, but helping them to be free seems crazy, and for that reason, no one would expect it. Envy's eyes sparkle with expectation. And if we do that when we are very strong, Lucien can lead us in a great assault. Alongside all his sisters. We will be invincible. If we don't die because of the Bloody Rose until then. Donna comments. The Bloody Rose. Alexa is shocked again. That was one of the secrets that Lucien didn't tell her. But after she tells them about her audacious plan, he doesn't mind telling her about an Bloody Rose. She is truly an open and trustworthy person. Fascinating. She comments as soon as he finishes explaining that he and his sisters have parts of the Bloody Rose divided inside their bodies. Anyway, I still need the power of the cursed blades. She comments. Lucien smiles. Really? Even after everything that I told you, do you still think you need them? Before she responds, he continues. I can give you and the women of your group much more power than that of the cursed swords. Also, I could personally help you kill that emperor. For real? She asks as he continues to stroke her head. Would you go to Chia, in the center of the gods' territory, to fight by my side? It is unthinkable for a demon to enter Chia, a world of angels in the center of the domain of the gods without a gigantic army, but Lucien does not doubt the unlimited potential of his girls. Yeah. He nods. I just need time to strengthen my women and solve personal problems. How long? 50 years. 100. Alexa asks while she can't contain her excitement. She can't even believe that she didn't want to make an alliance with Lucien at first. He smiles as he keeps stroking her hair. He knows that she does not realize that due to her excitement, but it is still enjoyable. I hope it to be less than that. So. Alexa makes a thoughtful expression. I could stop looking for the second cursed blade and focus on helping you solve your problems. He shakes his head. No, you shouldn't get involved in that. Also, you can't draw any more attention from the gods. You should keep bringing more angels to your side discreetly and prepare the most talented women among them for when I can finally strengthen them. Yes. This plan seems more reasonable. Alexa agrees. Now, we have to find a way to keep in touch meanwhile. He comments while asking Lust for advice. Without taking her head off his lap, Alexa looks in the direction of the Corvus house's angels. What about Genevieve? It seems that you have already seduced her, so she could be our messenger. Can she get in and out of Chia without drawing too much attention? He asks. Alexa quickly nods. Yes. She is one of the strongest angels in my house, and as everyone in my world thinks that I am looking for those cursed blades to strengthen our people, it is normal for me to have some exploration groups out there. So she is perfect for the job. Great. Lucien smiles. He really likes Genevieve, especially the fact that she is currently very strong, so she can help him get stronger faster so that he can also strengthen all his girls faster. *AA. *, more than half a mile away from there, Genevieve sneezes before looking in the direction of that big tree with a thoughtful expression. Are they talking about me? Underscore 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 underscore. If you want to support me and read more than 200 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. freewebnovel.com. Chapter 451. Commitment Seal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A historic day. None of those hundreds of angels of the Crassus and Corvus houses thought that it would be possible. While they are in formation on one side, Lucien's troops are on the other side. In the center is Lucien and Alexa, surrounded by his sisters, wives, the Sins, and her main assistants. The angels watch in disbelief as the strongest mage of the Crassus house creates a commitment seal enchantment to bind Alexa and Lucien with an alliance promise. As the Sins and Daisy are present, there is no way for that angel to do any trick on Lucien. And, of course, Alexa would never do anything like that either. So this is for real. An angel comments while everyone else is also accepting that. The Crassus house's angels hate the gods and knew that following Alexa would lead them to a rebellion. However, everyone is shocked by an alliance with demons. There was no way for them to expect that their most terrifying enemies would help them. There is no going back after that. Another angel comments. The gods are going to kill us and destroy our entire homes if they find out about this. Although they do not know what comes next, no angel of the Crassus house thinks about abandoning Alexa, while the angels of the Corvus house are very confused. We will be free in life or death. A young angel from the Corvus house comments. They lost their leaders, and like most, they can only think of asking to join the Crassus house just like the people of the Caudinus house did. In the center of the circle, Lucien smiles as he hears the angels' comments. They all seem to hate the gods, and the alliance between their peoples seems really nice. But not all angels seem to agree with that. June, the woman who was tortured by pride, walks up to Alexa. Well, actually, she limps because Sophia hasn't completely healed her. While holding Lucien's hand so that the angel mage can make the commitment seal, Alexa notices June's approach. She can't help being upset with pride for torturing one of her assistants, but she also understands how things ended up that way. Master. June respectfully speaks to Alexa before looking quickly at Lucien with a hostile expression. Alexa sighs. I know. You don't agree with this alliance, right? But can't you see that we need this to have a real chance of getting rid of our chains and finally being free? But June can see the potential of Lucien and his group, yet she can't stop being afraid of them. Master, these people are dangerous. Even if you make a commitment seal with this man, his group will still be a threat to us. They brutally killed my family. Lucien told me what happened. Alexa comments. Your group sneakily attacked him while he was in the middle of another fight. And I'm not surprised by that, as your siblings were really impulsive and reckless. June makes a sorry expression. You can't blame my siblings for fearing demons. Neok was scared. He wanted our family to be together again, and we needed to find the cursed sword to get your favor. The Corvus house was crumbling, and we couldn't give any reasons for the gods to be angry at us. Alexa also makes a sorry expression while looking at Lucien. In fact, my people are forced to hate and fear demons. The only ones to blame for that are the gods. But, she continues, only we decide our actions. Neok chose to attack Lucien and died due to his stupidity and folly, something that would not have happened if the angels of the Corvus house still had honor. While the Corvus house's angels bow their heads out of shame, Alexa continues while looking at them. The fact that you are without a good leader is my fault. Atticus has been taking care of me all these years and had not time to teach you about honor. She looks at Lucien again. Those angels of my house who attacked you also acted wrongly, even though they were under Agapius' orders. I can only apologize for that and guarantee that I will be more strict with them so that something like that never happens again. Lucien smiles as he looks at their hands. I understand that people get irrational when they are afraid. So we just have to create a future where they are not afraid of each other. We, their leaders, have to cure these disagreements between our races. A better future, a bright future. Alexa's eyes sparkle while she looks at Lucien's. Somehow, she feels that being on his side is the wisest decision she could make. But then her eyes deviate a little and focus on Pride, behind him. However, torturing my good assistant was not cool at all. Such an act of cruelty may continue as a thorn in my heart. While June's eyes plead for some justice, Pride maintains an arrogant expression. Humph. Lucien looks at her with a provocative smile while talking to Alexa. I still have unfinished business with her myself. In fact, I have to punish her for being a bad girl. Pride looks him in the eye with a stern expression, but internally, she is excited for him to try anything on her because all the interactions between them are fun for her. Everyone can see how tense the atmosphere gets as Pride and Lucien gaze at each other. They seem to create something like the lustful aura he creates with lust and the jealous aura with Amelia and envy. However, he and Pride have no connection yet. Then he looks at Alexa again. I will remember this inconvenience when I am punishing her. That's enough for me. She smiles at Lucien. However, she can't imagine how any punishment made by him to a woman could be really unpleasant. She herself still wants to lie down on his lap even though she wouldn't say that out loud even under a death threat. Great, Lucien comments as he looks at their hands. This is the beginning of a prosperous alliance. For sure. Alexa agrees. His sisters, wives, and the Sins are not sure what to expect from the first alliance between a demon and an angel, but they believe that it can work, mainly because it is a promise between Lucien and a woman. The mage angel finishes the commitment seal, and then Lucien and Alexa swear to help each other as allies in any situation. Although there are some flaws in that promise, like the one mentioned by June about only them and not their whole groups being under oath, that is still a sign of confidence, and as leaders of their groups, that influences everyone who trusts them. Alexa orders her troops to start energizing the portal for them to return to Chia. She cannot spend much time away from home without drawing the attention of the Emperor, who has probably already sent spies to various worlds in search of her. Meanwhile, she wastes no time and starts hugging Helena tightly. Grandma. I really wanted you to be healed and come home with me. Helena makes a loving expression while that scene is very strange due to Alexa being much taller than her grandmother. I know, my dear. But I could never go back without causing problems for our family. That cannot be my home anymore. Or rather. Alexa says while taking a quick look at Lucien. We are going to create a new home where you and our whole family will start over. I hope so, Helena comments as she looks at Lucien with a thoughtful expression. He smiles provocatively. You girls look very cute together, but... Alexa, you still haven't fulfilled our first deal. Heh. I thought we... Ah. She is confused, but then she understands what he is talking about, which makes her blush. His eyes shine pure purple. 20.4 hours. You were supposed to lie on my lap for 20.4 hours, but you only did it for a few hours. Helena looks away while feeling strange sensations. Meanwhile, Alexa makes a sorry expression. I really forgot about that because I was so focused on our alliance. My bad. I get it. He nods. However, that is the kind of thing that could be like a thorn in my heart. Oh, you devil. Alexa is flustered with Lucien for using her words against her. She can hear her troops commenting about that, and they don't blame Lucien for demanding his prize after all he had to go through to withstand her brutal blows. Lucien can see that Alexa is feeling conflicting emotions now. But as he doesn't really want to leave her in a bad situation, he thinks of a diplomatic solution. I know you have to go back home, and you want to enjoy the time you still have with your grandmother, so I'm not going to insist on that now. He speaks in a friendly tone. Thanks. She says honestly, but seeing that his provocative smile is still shining like an evil sun, she knows that it is not all. However. He pauses while looking into Alexa's eyes, making her heart beat faster. You will have to do that the next time we meet. Alexa doesn't know how to react to his words. Why does he seem to affect me this way? Is this because of my grandmother, or am I really going crazy? While Lucien seems to be waiting for confirmation from Alexa, Helena gazes at him with a fake upset expression. Why don't you stop bullying my granddaughter, you devil? Maybe you want to work this out for her. Lucien asks in a teasing tone. I wouldn't mind, you know. We'll have to be closer so I can heal you anyway. I just... Helena starts to stutter as she imagines what it will be like to be healed by Lucien. She still remembers how he healed Cassidy and Olivia, and that was very embarrassing just to hear, let alone participate. Alexa shakes her head. Now he's bullying you, Grandma. Are you going to let him continue with his games? And what do you want me to do? I'm still afraid of that scary woman. Helena comments. You should beat him. I can't, not anymore. She responds while looking at the image of a semi-dot circle on the back of her hands, which completes the other semi-circle on the back of Lucien's hand. So it can't be helped. Helena comments as she tries to look away from Lucien and his teasing smile. Lucien could spend days teasing Alexa and Helena, but he knows they spent a lot of time apart and leaves them alone to enjoy each other before she has to go back to Chia. As he walks over to his sisters, he notices Louise talking to Eve. Oh, I didn't have time to talk to my beautiful mother. Law. Eve smiles as Louise looks at him with an impressed expression. I knew you were powerful, after all, you are the brother of our great queen, but... That was the most incredible fight I have ever seen. He makes a fake ashamed expression. Do you mean that beating I got? That is not the first impression I would like to give to my mother. Law. Are you kidding? She asks sarcastically. Everyone could see how frighteningly strong that woman is. I know I couldn't survive a slight flick from her, but you got up over and over after suffering so many injuries. Louisa's eyes shine with admiration, as much as she has for Eve, which makes Pride feel a lot of demonic energy being generated. The mature fox lady continues. No other man would have handled that situation so well. Men don't accept losing a fight, let alone for a woman. They wouldn't have agreed to fight her, but you. You did what no one would do, you did the impossible. While Louise looks like one of the fans of Lucien from the Elle Secret Club, Elsie, and giggles, and Eve has a proud smile on her face. She also sees how amazing Lucien is, not only because of his strength but because of how things get more and more interesting around him. All the Sins also think that way because he and his sisters are the most fascinating hosts they have ever had. Underscore 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 underscore. If you want to support me and read more than 200 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. freewebnovel.com. Chapter 452. The Return of the King. You are listening at novelfull.audio. While Lucien talked to Louise about different things, including how things are going in Port Green, Alexa and Helena enjoyed each other. Then the angels of the Crassus house finished re-energizing the portal so they can return to Chia. Alexa wanted to give Lucien a large number of magic crystals, but in addition to them not being as efficient as his methods, he does not want to weaken her group, especially when she is bringing the angels of the Corvus house in her group. After everything was said and agreed, there was only a farewell between those angels returning to their world. Alexa doesn't really want to part with Helena, but the fact that she is not alone but being cared for by Lucien makes her much less worried. Take care of her, please, Alexa asks Lucien while not showing any arrogance. He can understand how Alexa feels now. She is still that incredibly strong and arrogant woman, but when it comes to the people they love the most, they get soft, or even more brutal, depending on the situation. I will do my best. Lucien smiles at grandmother and granddaughter. While Helena makes a shy expression, Alexa smiles back at him. I really wish I could help you more now. He quickly shakes his head. You have already helped me a lot. I mean, the magical resources we get from Agapius, and those other Sky Realm angels will be enough for me to make a portal for my troops. As soon as he talks about that battle, the angels of the Corvus house get ashamed to follow Agapius' orders. Alexa is also ashamed that the 3 Sky Realm angels from her house attack people just because they are not demons, and Lucien's group did not attack them in any way. She looks him in the eye with a determined expression. I'll fix it, I was too focused on other things and forgot to teach my people about honor. But don't worry, even if the Emperor is watching over me, I won't let my people continue to have this shitty racist mentality. But don't take risks yet. I will let you know as soon as I am ready to start strengthening your people. He speaks in a concerned tone, which makes Helena smile and Alexa blush. She never had an ally other than Atticus, whom she considered family and now does not know how to act toward Lucien. She nods. You can also ask me for help whenever you need it, and I will find a way to do something for you. While he nods, Alexa looks at Genevieve. You must obey all orders from Lucien and report to me when he commands. He is also your master now. Yes, my lady. Genevieve bows respectfully. She can't believe that after surrendering to Lucien during the battle, she ended up being ordered to serve him by Alexa. Yet, she has a feeling that staying with him will be an exciting adventure. Lucien smiles teasingly at Genevieve, making her blush. Although she is a mature woman over 1,000 years old, she cannot help feeling like an excited young girl near him. Alexa notices Genevieve's amusing expression when she looks at Lucien and can also see Helena's embarrassed look, making her envy them. Part of her wants to be able to follow them on an adventure away from gods and Xia. But she knows that she has a duty to protect her people, so she pushes her personal desires to the bottom of her heart. After ordering the angels of both the houses Crassus and Corvus to enter the portal, Alexa hugs Helena tightly once again. I can't lose you, Grandma. She whispers in Helena's ear. Helena quickly responds. I will still live for a long time, my dear. Even if I have to do these things with him. Alexa blushes when she imagines what things her grandmother is talking about, but her lips curve a smile. Doing these things with him can't be bad, right? Yourself said how good he is at. Naughty girl. Helena giggles. Are you already being influenced by him? Alexa doesn't know what to say. She stops hugging Helena and starts flying back towards the portal. I look forward to our next meeting. She comments while looking at Helena and Lucian. Heh. Lucian smiles while Helena looks both thrilled and sad at the same time. Alexa's main assistants and June enter the portal, followed by her. Then in a flash of bright light, they disappear into the sky. As Lucian's group prepares to travel, Helena keeps looking at the sky with a thoughtful expression while she already misses her granddaughter. She is a good woman. He comments as he stands beside her. No. Helena comments as her eyes sparkle with pride. She is an extraordinary woman. Lucian smiles and hugs Helena, making her rest her head on his chest. Indeed. They stay there, watching the sky for several minutes while Lucian's troops clear their temporary camp and get prepared to travel. As soon as everyone is ready, the girls approach Lucian again, and Eve speaks. It's time, Lucy. We have to go get our sisters. Yeah. He nods while stroking Helena's head. We must first go to Daisy's house and then repair the portal under the life crystal mine to go to the Blue Star. Daisy steps forward. Due to my new strength, I can take all of us to my home in a week or less. Great. Eve comments. So let's go. As Daisy begins making huge stone ships for Lucian's entire group, Louise approaches Eve. My great queen. Should I go back to visit to take care of the Alliance's affairs? Is that what you want? Eve asks. Louise makes a thoughtful expression while taking a quick look at Elsie. Well, as Galana is going with your majesty, I thought someone should be responsible for the Alliance. Eve smiles. I don't think this is really necessary. This continent is at peace, and there are no internal conflicts in the Alliance. In any case, the other matriarchs are loyal to me and could solve any minor problem that appears. But Louise is clearly confused. She doesn't mean that she wants to follow Eve as an excited little girl looking for adventures, but she also knows that her life will be very boring if she goes back to the Alliance now. Why don't you come with us now? Eve asks. Just for now, before I go to another world. Louise really wants to go with Eve and Elsie, but she is still in doubt if that is right. She doesn't want to be a problem for them. However, upon seeing her daughter's excited and pleading expression, she nods. All right. I'm glad you're coming with us, Mother.in.law. Lucian winks at Louise, making her body get warmer. She has heard many stories about Lucian, but unlike Helena, who fears complicated family relationships, Louise is very curious about how he managed to get mothers and daughters to accept being his wives at the same time. Me too. Dear son.in.law. She comments while looking Lucian in the eyes with an excited expression. Elsie and giggles as they watch Lucian and Louise's interactions. They know that she is very bold and they are also curious to see how she will react after being exposed to his charm for a long time. So, let's move on, Lucian speaks before they board one of the stone ships. Then Daisy takes them east. While looking at the horizon over the sea, Lucian remembers what Louise said about Ron's wedding in Port Green, and as the next day it's going to be Kara's birthday, he decides to spend the night there before heading to Daisy's house the next day. Eve and Donna quickly agree with the idea because they really want to take a good bath and sleep in a good bed after several days of sleeping in improvised camps. They can't help but envy Lucian's wives for having the Purple World's house. Cassidy is also happy with the idea because despite being focused on her new life alongside Lucian, she still worries about the kingdom that her father founded. Angela and her daughters are also excited to see Ron. Yet, the most enthusiastic is little Kara, who is eager to see her uncle, mainly because they will travel to another world soon. So, Daisy takes the stone ships in the direction of Port Green City. With Madeline's help to create favorable wind waves, they get there in 2 hours. Oh, what's that? One of the castle guards at Port Green thinks aloud as he sees the big stone ships appear over the city. People there have never seen floating stone ships, so the whole city goes on alert. Most people fear the worst, but Lucien quickly flies to the ground with Cassidy and Mia in his arms, and everyone realizes what is going on. The king is back. He and Queen Cassidy are in town. Queen Eve is with them too. The news circulates really quickly as Lucien enters the castle with his group after ordering his troops to take time off. The royal guards, who were Lucien's former male troop, kneel to him respectfully. Their life has been very good since he helped them to get out of that forest. Upon entering the castle's main hall, Lucien and his group are greeted by many royal guards and servants. Leading the group of guards are two men in heavy silver armor. One of them, smiling amiably at Lucien, is Alden, one of the men who has been the most friendly to him ever and will always be one of his most loyal soldiers. The other is Enzo, one of the people who were most hostile to Lucien and yet is still alive, something definitely rare. Despite being very grateful to Lucien, he can't help but be a little sad to see Neola beside him. That will always remind him of how he lost his fiancée. My king. Alden and Enzo kneel down with the other guards and servants and speak respectfully. And my queens. Alden, my friend. Lucien quickly helps the good man to stand up while everyone else is still kneeling and very afraid of Eve. Lucien starts walking up the stairs while talking to Alden. The girls follow him, but Neola and Kylie look at Enzo with expressions of pity. They feel bad about forgetting him so quickly, but life with Lucien is so exciting, and thinking about another man doesn't make sense to them. Enzo notices the girls' pitying looks and smiles, which hurts his ego even more. However, he knows that he had nothing to do. Lucien saved their lives, and only he could give the girls an even better life. Neola and Kylie realize that if they stop to talk to Enzo out of pity, that will be even worse for him. Then they follow after Lucien, hoping that Enzo can forget about them and move on with his life. Alden tells Lucien how his life and that of the people of Port Green have been good recently. There is no more Light Empire, and they have excellent cooperation with the Alliance. Outside of small tribes in the very south of the continent and mystic beasts in the forests, there is no other danger out there. As soon as Lucien and his group enter the great hall on the second floor, they see Ron, Zora, and other persons. Among those people is a tall, red-haired, hybrid fox-werewolf. Brother. Scarlet runs to hug Willard. My king. Ron and everyone in the room quickly kneels when they see Lucien. Uncle. Kara runs to hug Ron while Angela amiably smiles when she sees her cousin. Roar. Little Co runs towards the table, where she sees a big roasted pork, which smells incredibly delicious. Underscore 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 underscore. If you want to support me and read more than 200 chapters ahead, visit my Patreon. freewebnovel.com. Chapter 453. Cute girls everywhere. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yum, yum. The cute sounds that little Co makes while eating pieces of roast pork makes everyone at the table smile. She is sitting on Lucien's lap while Oya and Angela are beside them. That table is exactly 100 meters long, and so all his wives, his sisters, and even Raquel and her daughter, Estella, are having dinner with them. On the other side of the table in front of Lucien are Ron, Kara, and Zora, the Nunid Kingdom's former queen. I am thrilled that your majesty could come to visit us, Ron speaks while he can't stop smiling. He likes and respects Lucien a lot. There is no need for such a formality between us, my friend, Lucien comments as he pats Ko's head and cute ears. Ron shakes his head while making a respectful expression. My king, I am just a humble servant, and it is an honor for me to be your friend. Lucien smiles and Ron continues. Also, you gifted me by bringing my beloved niece here on her birthday. Soon I'll be getting married and... He pauses when he talks about getting married, and Lucien comments. I'm really happy that you found someone. Even though she is a peculiar choice, Zora makes a worried expression while Ron looks thoughtful. Yes, I understand that it seems strange, after all, our families have been enemies before. He sighs and continues. I have to confess that I already thought a lot about sneaking into the Ninad Kingdom and killing Zora's son. I knew that Angela was worried about Lena. But you didn't do that because you are not a cold-blooded assassin. Angela smiled at him. Zora holds Ron's hand tightly. Yet, my son deserved such an end. I failed as a mother by letting him transform into a monster. Beside Angela, Lena quickly shakes her head. There was nothing you could do, Zora. We all understand that your husband influenced your son in a way that you had no control over what he would become. Also, you are the only reason he hasn't done anything bad to me, and that's why I will always be grateful to you. Lucien raises his glass of wine. We shouldn't remember about bad things in such a happy moment. Today, we should just celebrate good things, like the wedding of two good people and the birthday of my beloved wife. Exactly. Angela smiles and raises her glass of wine just like all Lucien's wives. Although she doesn't quite understand what they are doing, Oya also tries to raise her glass. Even a little clumsy, she succeeds and toasts with everyone. Lucien and his group continue to eat the delicious food made by the castle's servants. In such good times, everyone is happy, and everything happens in a better way. While they continue to have dinner, more food the servants are bringing. Not only is Lucien's group quite huge, but some of the girls, especially Oya, Ko, Astrid, and Scarlet, eat a lot more than normal people because their bodies have a very high metabolism. The atmosphere is very lively and festive while everyone is talking. But then Lucien's wine glass is empty, and when Ron tries to fill it with wine from the bottle, he realizes that the bottle is also empty. At that moment, a young servant appears beside Lucien and fills his glass with wine from a new bottle. That little girl is just a simple kid, a kitchen servant, but something about her catches his eyes. You. Lucien moves his hand to that girl's face and gently makes her look at him in the eye. While the girl is surprised and afraid of having done something wrong, a servant on the other side of the table, which is serving Cassidy, is even more worried about that. She is that girl's mother, and she fears she offended the king, or maybe he is interested in her body even though she is just a young kid. Lucien's wives know that he has no fetish for children, and they also know that he cannot be angry with young girls, so they are curious about that. Noeli's eyes shine as Kylie giggles. Then the little girl looks at Lucien with a shy expression. M.MYK.King. I know who you are. He searches deep in his mind and finds memories about that girl. She came from the group of forest robbers and was one of the people who wanted to be part of his troops in Bluewind. The little girl's heart beats faster than ever as she is so close to the person she admires the most. She is very touched that he remembers her, but it also makes her very embarrassed to be able to say any word. Ania. Lucien says her name, making her smile with happiness. Your name is Ania, right? Little Ania takes deep breaths to respond because she is very shy. So she nods several times. Y.es, my king, that is the name of this humble servant. Humble servant. I see. Lucien smiles. However, the last time I saw you, you wanted to be part of my soldiers and fight alongside me in battles. The timid girl wants to smile and beg Lucien to join his group, but she notices her mother walking quickly around the table to stop her. Lucien also notices that worried woman, and then he looks at Ania with a thoughtful expression. What happened? Would your mother be very worried that you have become a warrior? I can understand that. Before the little girl can respond, her mother approaches them and tries to pull Ania away from Lucien. I'm really sorry, my king, my girl didn't mean to bother you, she just. It is evident that the woman is terrified. Although life in the castle is perfect and no one mistreats the servants, they do not want to bother anyone or seem disrespectful, especially with the terrifying handsome devil. Alright, it's alright, Lucien speaks in a gentle tone as he caresses that woman's hand, causing her to release her daughter's arm. Little Ania is not bothering me. While Ania smiles with an expectant expression, her mother is confused. The legends talk about Lucien being a brutal and bloody demon while others talk about him being a lustful devil, but all she sees is a kind and caring man. The woman takes a step back and lets Lucien and the little girls talk. He smiles at her. I made you a promise, right? Ania's eyes shine like two suns as she smiles adorably. Yep. Do you really remember it? Of course. He nods. I remember all the promises I make. And I promised that I would let you be part of my troops when you were older if you still wanted that. I want it. Ania quickly exclaims and then speaks in a lower tone, containing her excitement. I really want that. I think about going on adventures with your group every day and fighting at your side. Lucien's wives and sisters smile as they can see the excitement in Ania's eyes. It is evident that she is already very loyal to him and really wants to become one of his troops. But her mother looks really concerned. No mother would like to see their daughters become warriors and fight in dangerous battles. You look really excited about that. Lucien smiles at the little girl. However, as I said, you're going to have to grow more before I can accept you into my group. Precisely, you need have 16 years before that. 16. Ania asks in a concerned tone. But there are 3 more years to go. What if you forget about me by then? He starts to caress her head. I will not forget a girl as cute and loyal as you. Also, everyone here is a witness to our promise. I will ask Ron to keep an eye on you, and when you are about to become 16, he will send me a message for me to come and get you and your mother. Ania smiles even more. Really? Will my mother be able to come with us too? Yep. He nods as he smiles at his mother and continues to stroke Ania's head. Despite not having any sexual desire toward her, his pats are very pleasurable, which generates demonic energy, quickly strengthening the little girl. Then he looks at Ron. Could you find some tutors to help little Ania get to starts training? Sure. Ron quickly nods. Then he looks at Willard next to Scarlet. Willard is training a group of young people to be royal guards. He has a natural talent for teaching, and young people seem to like him very much as an instructor. Great. Lucien smiles and raises his glass towards Willard, who smiles back at him. Then he looks at Ania again. That way, you will be ready when I come to get you. Thank you so much, my king. Ania thanks him as she tries not to make any moves and just enjoys Lucien's pats. While stroking Ania's head, Lucien sends a lot of demonic energy to her. He's not doing that on purpose, but his energy is now much more powerful and abundant than before. And due to the fact that she is in the zero realm, that energy has a very significant effect on Ania, quickly awakening something within her, something that catches the attention of all the sins. Fascinating. Sloth thinks as she realizes that Ania has a really exceptional talent. In superior worlds, she would be a prodigy desired by great clans and powerful families. Lust quickly warns Lucien. You should bring this girl with us now. She is already so loyal to you, and her latent talent is excellent. With the help of your demonic energy, she would soon become very powerful. Lucien smiles at Ania as he continues to stroke her head and responds to Lust. Nah, I don't like this idea. She's just a kid, and I don't want to destroy her childhood. It is best to leave her alone and follow the plan to get her when she is 16. If you prefer it that way, I won't insist. Lust understands how Lucien feels. He wouldn't be able to give Ania much demonic energy while she is a child. The situation with little Ko is different, and even then, she has to be in the tigress form and beg him for some special milk, or he wouldn't be able to give her anything either. Yet, little Ania has no doubts about her feelings. Young girls fall in love easily and often until they find the right man, but in her heart, she knows that the right man will always be Lucien. Her loyalty and feelings for him are so pure that just that amount of demonic energy is enough to start creating a tattoo on her low belly area, without Lucien even realizing it. But he soon stops stroking her head because her mother seems to be almost freaking out. "We will see each other again, little Ania. I will look forward to it and behave well until then, my king." She responds with a bright smile on her face as she returns to the kitchen with her mother. Eve smiles. "She is so adorable." "She does. And I wonder if I will have such a lovely girl too." Sophia comments as she strokes her belly. "I'm sure all of Lucien's daughters are going to be beautiful and cute." Arya comments. Donna chuckles. "Little pretty devils, you mean? Ha 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 ha." Everyone at the table starts laughing while drops of sweat run down Lucien's face. But little Ko just continues to eat more pieces of meat. Eating good food while sitting on Lucien's lap is the perfect situation for her, and enjoying that is all she wants now. Meanwhile, Kara gets more and more flushed as her body heats up. Lucien is not only looking at her with an alluring expression, but he is also stroking her legs with his tail under the table. "Oh, my dear, you will be turning 16 in a few hours, and I will finally eat you completely." He speaks in her mind as he continues teasing her. "I want it so much." She thinks but doesn't say anything to him because she is very embarrassed. Chapter 454. A Maid's Journey. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 454. A Maid's Journey. While Ron, Lucien, and his group have a lot of fun talking at the table, Kara's mind goes back in time. She remembers when she was just a little kid with no parents inside the big blue wind castle. She always had the support of Ron, Angela, Marie, Lena, and many servants of the castle, but she still felt alone. That castle looked so big and cold while she felt smaller than an ant, without purpose, with no desire to do anything. Then one day, she asked Ron what he was doing. He explained that he served the king and the queen for the benefit of the kingdom. Little Kara was not satisfied with that answer and asked exactly why he did those things. She wanted to know what motivated him. "I like to make people feel happy, protected, and satisfied," he said. "I like to know that my actions do good for others. I like to help and feel useful." Those words opened little Kara's eyes to a new purpose. The next day, instead of running and playing around the castle with Marie and Lena, she went looking for someone to help. That was not difficult because, in a big castle, there are always many servants doing hard work. Little Kara found a cleaning lady washing a very dirty courtyard, so she started helping that woman clean that area. Despite being just a kid, Kara worked hard, and that woman, who was very tired, couldn't help but be happy with that help. The cleaning lady thanked Kara many times, and the smile on her face warmed the little girl's heart. Kara realized that helping others and feeling that her actions were important to them was really enjoyable. So she looked for other servants around the castle and helped everyone she could. With each smile of thanks, she was happier and felt more useful. As time passed, little Kara grew up, and due to her helping several servants every day, she learned all kinds of housework, such as cleaning, cooking, decoration, and others. But as she grew up, becoming a young lady, the smiles of thanks were diminishing. Since she was just a distant relative of the sick queen, Kara was never seen as royalty but as part of the servants, and they expected her to work hard like all the other servants. She never ran away from hard work, so she ended up becoming just another servant, a gear part of a big system and not the special little girl she was before. Kara stopped feeling that her actions were really important to others, and that made her stop feeling good as before. But she did not give up and tried hard to be the best maid in the castle. She wanted to be so good at housework that everyone would recognize her work and the importance of her actions. She was doing an excellent job and excelled at any task. However, one day, she met Lucien and his group, and while trying to make him feel comfortable, she suggested that he leave his 2 tigers in the kennel, along with other animals. Kara acted very respectfully to him, and that suggestion shouldn't offend him. However, Lucien was very stressed, and his overprotective personality was activated when he thought of his 2 loyal companions sleeping together with usual beasts. He ended up being rude to little Kara, who apologized and went back to doing her tasks. However, that did not leave her mind. She continued to blame herself for upsetting Lucien, which made her depressed. And when Kara was feeling worse, the king even tried to abuse her body. Fear, anger, and despair began to destroy Kara's mind. She would really go crazy and break. But in that dark moment, someone came to save her. She wanted a knight in shining armor, but who came to help her was Lucien. Why this rude man? Why does the one I offended be the one who saved me? Kara's mind got even more confused, and she didn't know what to do. But after those unpleasant events, things started to get better. The king was punished, and the good queen returned to lead the castle. Also, that rude man started to live in the castle, being part of their life. Whether she liked it or not, Kara began to have several interactions with Lucien. He always seemed very sorry to have been rude to her, and with each interaction between them, she was more sure that he was a kind and caring man. As time went by, Kara became more and more fond of the interactions with Lucien. She found him fascinating, and the grateful smiles he gave her when she did something for him again warmed her heart. In fact, his sincere gratitude for her hard work was the most pleasant thing she has ever had. Not only because of Lucien but also because of his wives, Kara's life has been brighter than ever. Those days were amazing for her, and things like cooking for them, tidying up their bedrooms, and washing their clothes, especially Lucien's underwear, were very pleasant for her. Kara felt she had found her real purpose. To take care of Lucien's family. But while she enjoyed taking care of them, she was also worried about them leaving Bluewind. She knew that someone incredible like him would not be there for long. He and his group would travel through the universe living unforgettable adventures while she, just a maid, would continue in that cold and lonely castle, doing her best to get smiles from people who don't really love her. But fate smiled at Kara, or rather, Lucien smiled at her and offered her an opportunity to change her life. She no longer needed to be just one of the castle's maids, a simple servant, and not even an alone girl. Kara didn't think twice about accepting his proposal. She would be happy to just follow his group, taking care of their needs. She would be fine just being their maid. But Lucien offered her a lot more. He gave her a house, his home. Not only did he give her the purpose of taking care of her huge home and all his family, but he also made her part of his family. Not a secondary member of his family. He gave her his love and the title that all women in the world now want. He made her my beloved wife. Lucien's voice makes Kara's mind go back to the present, and she sees him raising his glass of wine as he smiles at her. In the sky above Port Green City, the 2 moons of Ardrim are in a position that means that one day is over, and a new one has begun. Happy birthday. Lucien completes his sentence in a loving tone. Happy birthday, niece. Ron also raises his glass of wine in Kara's name while he embraces her with his other arm. Happy birthday, sister. Lena is the third to congratulate Kara, followed by Zora and all the other girls. Lucien's wives go to Kara to hug her and give her gifts such as dresses, shoes, earrings, and various other things that a young lady would like to receive. Kara is so touched that she starts to cry, tears of happiness, of course. Although Ron has always done something special for her on her birthday, this is the first time she has felt so good on such a day. Lucien and his wives are not just being kind to Kara because she is part of the group, but they are demonstrating how much they love her and are grateful for the loving and dedicated way she takes care of their home and their needs. And she knows that, Kara lives with those women and knows them well. She knows how much they love her, and she loves them too, all of them. While being moved by the beautiful gifts she receives, Kara keeps giving Lucien quick peeks, and no matter what he's doing, he always smiles back at her with a loving and sensual expression. The hours go by, and the girls don't notice. They are all very excited about helping Kara to try out all the gifts she got while talking mainly about how it will be her first time with Lucien. The girls prepare a beautiful maid dress for Kara because that style is her favorite. That dress is not only impressive but also very sensual, with a bold neckline that highlights her breasts, which have grown a lot and even making other girls jealous. They also help make up Kara just a little because her natural beauty is already wonderful. They continue to help her get ready and clarify any doubts she has about sex. Meanwhile, Lucien finishes dinner with Ron and the others. Everyone had a great time at dinner, but it was time for the group to separate. Lucien's wives started going to Purple World while Daisy, Eve, Donna, and other women who don't have his tattoo are taken to the best bedrooms in the castle by Ron personally. After taking a walk around the castle and saying goodnight to Alden and Willard, Lucien also goes to Purple World. As soon as he arrives in the main hall on the 5th floor, he sees Angela and Kara talking on a large sofa. "Oh, hubby." Angela smiles at Lucien as she approaches him. He also smiles at her as he wraps his hands around her waist. Then they kiss passionately while Kara just watches. Angela's natural mature scent seems to get better every day. As much more powerful she gets, her lifespan increases, making her younger, but her mature look that Lucien loves so much remains perfect. "You are so delicious, my queen." Lucien comments on Angela's mind as she starts to squeeze her soft ass. Her heart beats faster while her body craves Lucien's body. But she tries to contain her desires while responding to him. "But today is little Kara's special day, so you can't eat me now." "Of course." He comments as he slides his fingers between her buttocks under her clothes. "But then, I'm going to entirely eat you, including this perfect ass of yours." Angela has to stop kissing before she can't get her body away from Lucien's. Then she smiles teasingly at him. "I and my ass will be eagerly waiting for you in our bedroom." Then she quickly turns around and smiles lovingly at Kara. "Have fun, darling." Lucien can't resist slapping Angela on the ass, making that sound echo through the halls of the house, leaving several other girls with blushed and jealous expressions on their faces. Angela blushes even more as she gazes at Lucien and bites her own lips before walking towards the bathroom. She tries not to miss that royal look of a queen, but she can't help looking like an excited young girl. Inside Lucien's mind, lust comments. "I do not understand this. You prefer mature women, but you like to make them act like young girls." He shrugs. "I don't try to understand it, I just love it. Making impressive women like Angela lose their composure and indulge the most primitive and feminine desires. That is really enjoyable." While lust feels at a disadvantage for not having a natural mature look despite the fact that she is supposedly very old, Lucien walks over to Kara. Kara's heart is beating faster and faster as the sound of Lucien's footsteps makes her more excited. She waited so long for that moment, but now she is shy and embarrassed, unlike the bold attitude she usually has. Then Lucien arrives in front of her, takes out a beautiful ornate little box of his storage ring, and hands it to her. "This is for my perfect maid, the one who takes care of our family and our home so well." Just Lucien's words are already a perfect gift for Kara. His praises make her ego jump out with joy as she feels proud and fulfilled. But of course, she is also very curious to know what gift he prepared for her. Just that box is already so beautiful, so she is eager to open it and see what's inside. Chapter 455. Are we going to swim only? You are listening at novelfull.audio. As she smiles adorably, Kara begins to open the box in Lucien's hand. She had never felt that way when she received a gift before because he is the most important person to her. Regardless of what is in that box, be it the most beautiful jewel in the world or a grain of sand, she already knows that it will be the most precious object for her because it is the gift she received from her beloved. But when opening the little box, Kara is thrilled to see a beautiful and cute red bow tie. It is evident that it is not common, as it has a magical aura and an incredibly elegant red color that matches perfectly with the crimson color of her eyes. Kara falls in love with the red bow tie the first second she sees it. That is also perfectly matched with her maid uniform and the bow tie ornaments on her sleeves, which were made by the girls who knew about her gift, of course. "It's so beautiful," she comments as she takes the red bow tie. So she is even happier when she realizes that there is an L and a K on the back of it. "Just like you," Lucien comments as he smiles at Kara. While holding and looking at the bow tie closely, Kara feels familiar energy emanating from it. Although she found it perfectly beautiful, the main characteristic of that bow tie is not aesthetic. When thinking about what gift to give Kara, Lust suggested something useful to Lucien. And he did as she suggested. Rebecca created the base for that bow tie using her creation affinity and the best resources that were in the storage treasures of the Sky Realm angels that Lucien and his sisters killed. After that, Daisy's help was needed to give that bow tie special magical properties, making it able to retain a very high amount of energy and also an automatic function. Yet, the final touch, the main part, was done by Lucien. He spent several hours canalizing his demonic energies in that bow tie. He had to recharge his energies twice, mainly with Sophia and Amelia, before managing to fill the bow tie with his energies completely. And the end result was a high-level artifact. That bow tie is perfect for Kara because it will automatically restore her energy as soon as she runs out of it. Her defensive ability works alone, but she always needs to have energy for it to work. And with that bow tie, she will be able to regenerate her energies 6 or 7 times, allowing her to defend herself from any danger. Kara usually stays in the purple world in dangerous situations, but still, Lucien wants to make sure that all his wives are always protected. He also wants to make artifacts like those for all his wives, but they don't have the resources to make so many like that right now. Yet, Rebecca is already preparing some jewelry for the next girls who are going to have a birthday soon. Lust also explained that although those artifacts work on women who do not have his tattoo, it will be significantly less effective, even on his other sisters, because his wives already have a deep connection to his demonic energy. "Hubby, can you help me put it on?" Kara asks as she hands Lucien the red bow tie. "Sure, my dear." He takes the bow tie while she turns and holds her hair braids on one side, showing her delicate neck. Their height difference is really significant, which makes Kara look like a doll. Her skin is so soft and delicate that Lucien enjoys caressing her neck before helping her put on the bow tie. Then he starts to run his hands down her body while kissing her neck and shoulders. Despite having just turned 17, Kara already has a woman's natural scent, in addition to her breasts and ass being very well developed, enough to make other girls like Mia and Marie envious. Kara softly moans as she feels Lucien's passionate kisses on her neck. He notes that in addition to her natural scent, there is also a familiar scent on her body. What is this perfume?" Kara blushes as she answers. "That was a gift from Cassidy. She said that you like it on her body." "Did it get good on me?" "Yes, you smell outstanding." He quickly responds as he continues to kiss and caress her body. As she proudly smiles, he starts to turn her body. Then he takes a good look at her and finds her flushed expression exceptionally adorable. Today she looks like a star shining with happiness. "Thank you." She responds in a timid tone, and he quickly kisses her on the lips. While devouring Kara's delicious and delicate lips, Lucien hugs her around the waist and raises her body. She wraps her legs around his waist as they hug. Then he flies to the stairs and jumps from the 5th floor to the ground floor. The hallways in the house are quite wide and seem to be made especially for someone with big wings to fly around. Lucien flies out the door with Kara in his arms and then heads for the purple sky. While the little maid just enjoys his kisses and caresses, he flies towards a large floating rock far away from the house. After passing through a floating rock where there is a large forest and 2 other floating rocks, Lucien arrives at the one that he planned. That is also a large floating rock, and although it has many trees, the main characteristic of that rock is an immense lake of crystalline water. Whoa! Kara is impressed by the big lake. It's so beautiful. Ella found it a few days ago when she was exploring this area, Lucien explains as he flies and stops around the lake, where there is a large picnic blanket, a straw basket with wine, cookies, and other delicious foods, and some ornate candles around it. Kara can see that Lucien planned everything in advance, which makes her very happy. To thank him, she rubs her face on his chest and kisses him. Lucien puts Kara on top of the blanket and then begins to dematerialize his clothes, leaving only his underwear. I wanted you to be the first to swim in that lake with me. Are we going to swim only? She asks while thinking naughty things and blushing even more. He just smiles at her with a teasing expression. Kara is sure of what that expression means, and she is very eager for that. Since she started to have a romantic relationship with Lucien, she was holding her desires back for several reasons, such as a lack of confidence in her body, fear of disappointing him, and also because most people in Arjerim consider being older at the age of 16, unlike other worlds where it is normal for people to live for hundreds and thousands of years. But now I'm ready. She thinks as she feels determined to give her body to her lover completely. She had a lot of time to make sure that her feelings were not just physical, and now it was time. Then Kara begins to undress while maintaining eye contact with Lucien slowly. She wants to enjoy the expression of desire on his face and make him desire her body even more, as much as she craves his. Her movements are clumsy, and she lacks the sensuality that only a mature woman has. Yet, Lucien finds her actions very cute, and that also makes him horny, mainly because of her excitement. Lucien takes an apple from the basket, and his eyes change from it to Kara's body a few times while she continues to undress. Then he kisses the apple in his hands and slowly bites it while his eyes are fixed on the little maid's private parts. Kara is very embarrassed, but she continues to undress while her eyes are fixed on Lucien's lips and the apple. She can't help but imagine him kissing, licking, and biting every part of her body in that passionate way. She takes off her maid dress and stays only in panties and bra, in addition to the red bow tie, which was made to withstand any treatment, so it doesn't get wet, wrinkled, and also it doesn't burn. Do you like it? She asks in a timid tone. Lucien looks her body up and down. Although small and very thin, she also has sexy curves, which will improve as she finishes maturing. Her cheeky breasts are already amazing as her hot ass, making her look wonderful, and her red bra and panties match her eyes and the bow tie, giving her a special charm. Perfect, he comments. Then he bites the apple one more time, making its juice run down his lips. You are really perfect, my dear. Kara's eyes sparkle as she smiles. She can see that Lucien's underwear has already become a tent, failing to contain his excitement, and that makes her very proud and confident. Then she moves her hands to the straps of her bra while continuing to look into his eyes, and slowly, she starts to remove it, releasing those youthful twin peaks. She continues to look him in the eye, but his eyes are completely attracted to her breasts. Then she continues to move her hands down and puts her fingers inside one of its side wings, giving the impression that she is going to remove it as well. And while Lucien is eager to see her beautiful pink flower, Kara smiles teasingly at him. This you will have to remove on your own. Meanwhile, in one of the best bedrooms in the castle of Port Green, precisely the bedroom that was once Mia's. You saw it, didn't you? Wrath asks Donna and quickly continues. More talented women show up wanting his help, and even if he doesn't want them as wives, ignoring them would be missing the opportunity to become stronger, something he will not do. Donna rolls her eyes while lying on the bed, looking at the ceiling. I know. He is so handsome, attractive and can strengthen women with pleasure, so it is evident that more women will continue to appear around him. What do you want me to do? The same your other sisters did, of course. Wrath quickly answers. What? Do you really think I have these feelings for him? Donna is upset by Wrath's suggestion. It is evident that she was talking about Sophia and Amelia. Wrath looks at her with a thoughtful expression. Don't you love him? I thought you loved all your siblings. Of course that I love all my siblings. She quickly answers. I'm sure Sophia and Amelia are like that too. They love Lucien and let him help them get stronger while they also help him get stronger. Wrath comments. Damn. I already said that I will accept his help, so why can't you just wait a while? Donna complains. Wrath quickly responds. Because you're taking so long. We weren't getting stronger like the others. Gluttony and greed are already in a medium world, and we are probably the weakest pair today. Do you like things to keep like that? Donna sighs. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow, fine. That's just hard for me. He's my little brother. And crossing that line is not so easy. Knock knock, they hear a knock on the door, and Donna quickly asks. Who is it? It's me, sister. Eve's voice sounds in an concerned tone. Did she hear that? Donna panics while thinking that Eve heard her conversation about Lucien. Despite wanting to accept his help to become stronger, she is very ashamed of wanting to abuse her little brother, and she fears Eve's reaction when finding out that. Chapter 456. Magical Cave, R.18. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lucien can't help but get more excited because of Kara's actions. Whenever she tries to be sensual, she ends up being even cuter. You adorable little maid. He smiles as he walks towards her. Thump 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 thump, her heart is beating faster and faster, while she is at the same time eager and embarrassed by that situation. She has been naked in front of Lucien many times, but now they are really going to do the whole thing. He he he. Kara starts to giggle as she turns and runs towards the lake, so she jumps into the crystal clear water. Splash, she dives into the water and can see the bottom of the lake. The day is dawning, and it is possible to see both something that looks like a sun and something that must be the moon in the sky, both bright purple. Lucien smiles as he watches Kara. She is so happy. He knows that all his wives are concerned with things like the dangers they will face and the mysterious situation of his mother. In fact, they share his worries. However, now is not a time to think about bad things but just enjoy. What? Kara is confused when she realizes that the water in the lake is warm. She swims to the surface and talks to him. The water is strangely warm. Really? Lucien thinks out loud. Lust quickly explains it in his mind. It seems that there is a circuit made with special rocks under the lake. These rocks are generating heat that melts an alloy of metal and rocks, creating magma that warmer the water in the lake. Amazing. He comments. It looks like someone changed a lot of things inside your soul realm. I can't even imagine how much power they would have to do that. She comments. He makes a thoughtful expression. Anyway, they seem to have done this to help me and make my and my girls' lives more comfortable here. I hope this is not compensation for something bad they are going to do with us later. She speaks in a concerned tone. Lucien sighs and stops thinking about complicated things. He finishes eating that apple and jumps into the lake after Kara. Splash, he dives to the bottom of the lake and comes up below Kara. Then he begins to caress her legs as he moves upwards until he appears in front of her, embracing her delicate waist. Both Lucien and Kara's bodies get even hotter due to the contact and their excitement, leaving the water around them hotter as well. He looks into her eyes with a loving expression as he approaches their mouths. Then he starts giving tap kisses on her lips. Yes. This water is really warm. Kara feels the warmth of Lucien's body, especially the hard part that is touching the tattoo on her belly. It is evident that he has already dematerialized his underwear and is naked now. So big. So hard. Because of me. She thinks while feeling proud to make Lucien that horny. She knows how well he can control his erection and only stays that way when he is with the women he loves. While Lucien kisses Kara's lips, she caresses his chest. Then he slides his cock between her thighs while moving his hands to her waist and begins to slide his fingers under her panties slowly. She moans softly just because of his caresses, and her love juices start to leak in increasing quantities. Due to Lucien's incredible senses, he feels the scent of her excitement in the water and smiles teasingly at her. So cute. Kara gets embarrassed and hides her face in his chest, then, she bites his nipple. If you praise me like that, I will be shyer. Ha ha ha. He chuckles as he moves his fingers further inside her panties, touching and squeezing her buttocks with his hands. The shyer you are, the more I want to eat you. She smiles and escapes from his arms, diving into the water and going to the bottom of the lake. Because she has a mortal realm level power plus Lucien's demonic energy buff, she can swim several times faster than a zero realm person and stay without breathing for a few minutes. Lucien smiles as he sees Kara swimming away from him. It is obvious that she wants him to follow her and catch her, so he gives her a head start to make the game fairer. After half a minute, he started to follow her, not using a high speed, but just enough to close the distance between them. At the bottom of the lake, there are corals, colored rocks, and water plants, which Kara swims around, trying to hide from Lucien. But as soon as she looks back, she doesn't see him and is confused for a second. Got you. He speaks in her mind as he comes out from behind the rock behind her and hugs her. He quickly begins to kiss her neck and slides his hands inside her panties. Kara feels like laughing, but she knows she'll swallow water if she does that under the water, so again, she manages to escape his arms while mentally teasing him. Aha! Catch me again if you can. Lucien again gives the cute maid time to swim away from him, and she quickly disappears between the corals. He can still feel where she is due to their connection, which is totally unfair for such a game. Kara is curious to see an entrance between some rocks below the corals. She can see a purple light coming from what looks like a small cafe, so she goes in there to hide from Lucien. As soon as she swims into that cave, she notices several plants of different colors, but all of them have a mysterious purple glow. She finds those flowers beautiful and magical, so she quickly calls Lucien to see that. Hubby. As soon as she calls his name, she feels his warm hands embrace her waist while Lucien quickly reaches behind her. He also notices those flowers and feels familiar demonic energy from them. Do not ask me, I feel the demonic energy coming from them, but I have no idea what they are. Lust quickly speaks in Lucien's mind, sharing the same doubts as he does. Lucien and Kara swim deeper into the cave, exploring and finding more and more bright flowers until the small tunnel stops to lead down and starts to make them swim up. After swimming for another 20 meters, they reach the surface of the water, not the surface of the lake, but from a submerged cave with an area without water. How is this possible? Lucien thinks aloud as he realizes that he can breathe inside that cave, which is not dark due to the purple glow of plants and the red glow of crystals on the floor and walls. There are many magical auras here, coming from the flowers and fire crystals, created due to the influence of the special rocks below the lake. This place seems to have been created naturally. Lust explains in Lucien's mind. Is so beautiful. Kara exclaims as she finds those flowers and crystals very beautiful, creating a magical atmosphere. Then she looks at Lucien with a determined expression. It will be here. I want our first time to be in this amazing place. Lucien is very curious about that cave, but he can see that the place is not very big, so there is not much to do to find out more about that. Also, now is Kara's special moment, so he stops thinking about those things and focuses on his beloved little wife. Yes, my dear, this is going to be a good place. He speaks in a loving tone as he pulls out a large round bed from his storage ring. Kara tightly hugs Lucien, making his cock press against her belly, getting hard again. I love you so much, hubby. Lucien hugs and lifts Kara up as they start kissing. Then he lays her on her back on the bed and looks her in the eye. Love you too, sweetheart. While she just keeps looking at him with a shy and loving expression, he starts kissing her lips, cheeks, shoulders, and then goes down slowly. Her skin is very soft and fragrant, and Lucien can't get enough of kissing it, but when he reaches her beautiful breasts, his lips find the apex of the softness. He strokes those cheeky peaks delicately and then kisses them passionately. You know. The other girls are jealous of those perfect breasts of yours. Ah. She moans, and her voice echoes through the small cave. I am. All I care about is that you like. Lucien looks up while having Kara's pink and cute nipple in his mouth. I love them, dear. Kara smiles proudly, happy that her body pleases Lucien so much. But then her proud expression is quickly replaced by a lewd one while she feels so much pleasure. Nah. She moans as he squeezes, kisses, and bites her breasts. Then he squeezes both of them one more time as he starts to move his head down again. Keeping his lips on her body, Lucien kisses Kara's entire belly, including the part with the tattoo, until he reaches her most private part. Then he slowly starts to lower her panties. Let's see what's here. Kara is the type of woman who has almost no hair on her body besides that of the head, of course. Like her on her armpit, her pubic hair is so small and thin that it is almost impossible to see them. So all Lucien sees is her perfectly smooth skin. He continues to kiss her and moves down slowly until he completely removes her patience, seeing her charming pink flower. Despite being very embarrassed now, Kara continues to look at Lucien's face. She wants to see all of his reactions, and she gets delighted to see his eyes sparkle with excitement as he smiles. He doesn't need to praise her because, from that expression, it is evident that he finds her beautiful. So adorable. Lucien thinks out loud as he wastes no time and starts kissing that beautiful pussy of hers. Ah! She moans even louder while feeling immense pleasure to feel her most private part being touched by her lover's tongue. Kara has no sexual experience other than the few blowjobs she did on Lucien before, so she reaches an orgasm due to that incredibly pleasurable stimulation so quickly. Nha. She closes her legs, pressing Lucien's head between her soft thighs as she squirts so many love juices in his mouth. Lucien laughs at Kara's cute reaction and then gently spreads her legs while kissing her pink flower and drinking its juices. Don't hold back your moans, he says as he starts kissing her leg and thigh. You are so cute, Kara, I'm so lucky because you are mine. She smiles at his compliments and continues to moan while feeling more pleasure than ever. Her whole body trembles as her insides twitch, begging for her beloved's hard member. And Lucien can feel that. His caresses are already leaving her body frustrated because he has been teasing her for a long time. That orgasm is her body's last attempt to beg to have him inside her. He kisses her body up until he reaches her cheek. Their bodies are so close that she can feel his dick touching various parts of her skin, making her craves it more. He gently holds her chin and licks her cheek, savoring her sweet flavor while slipping his cock between her thighs, making its shaft touch her wet pussy. Any requests before I eat you? He asks in an alluring tone. Kara smiles. I want to see your face while you do it. Fulfilling her request, he quickly positions himself on top of her. Covering her body entirely with his, he only needs one arm to support on the bed, not letting his body force against hers, and with the other hand, he caresses her face. Then while looking into her eyes, he runs his hand down, warmly stroking her breasts, belly, and thighs. Next, he lifts her left leg up to the right side of his waist, and she rests it on his hip. Kara feels Lucien's cock pressing against her pussy's entrance and knows that any move he makes now can make it penetrate her, finally making them husband and wife. She knows how much lustfulness is involved in his life and that of all his other women, but as much as she continues to look him in the eye, all she sees is love, affection, and caring. She is as sure about giving her body, purity, and heart to him as she was sure to follow him. Then, to demonstrate that, she gently pulls him by the waist towards her. Lucien smiles before kissing her lips as he squeezes and caresses her thigh. Then, he slowly begins to move his body down forward. Kara starts to moan as she feels his cock's head gently open its way through her pussy. It's so big. So hard. And hot. It's stretching me, but it's so fucking good. She quickly discovers the immense pleasure that Lucien's huge cock can give her thanks to his life mana preventing her from feeling any pain. Lucien starts to be a little rougher with her, biting her lips while squeezing her thigh more tightly, which makes her pussy squeeze his cock even more. Oh! He can't help but enjoy that incredible tightness. Kara is definitely in the tiny girls group. Ah! She continues to moan as her nails scratch his back. Her body doesn't know how to handle so much pleasure that it's driving her crazy. And Lucien continues to move slowly and explore her insides gently. Soon he feels the tip of his cock touching Kara's hymen, so he stops moving for a second. He kisses her lips passionately while their noses touch and their eyes are fixed on each other. There are no words that can explain all the emotions that they are feeling right now. Still, she feels like speaking those words. I love you. Love you too. He quickly responds and then moves his body further down, making his cock break her purity seal. Ah! She moans as her body feels an incredible wave of pleasure, which makes her have another orgasm. Her insides twitch and tighten Lucien's cock even more. But he keeps moving and forces its way, slowly exploring every part of her tight pink walls. Lucien no longer knows how many times he has had sex, but the first time with a woman, especially with one he loves very much, is always especially different. He focuses on every little detail that makes Kara different from all other women in his life and enjoys that to the fullest while his cock tastes a new and perfect pussy. Each millimeter that he moves inside her is a new experience, and as soon as his cock reaches the bottom of her pussy, he is already eager to go back and retrace the course again, faster and harder. But before that, he gently pushes his cock to her very bottom, making its tip kiss the entrance to her baby room. She continues to moan a lot while experiencing new feelings, each one more pleasurable than the previous ones. Then Lucien teases her by biting and sucking on her lips before smiling at her. I forgot to ask you what you think of children. I want them. Kara responds quickly. I want as many children as you want to give me. He smiles. So I'm not going to contain myself. Then he moves his hips back, and when his cock's tip comes close to the entrance to her pussy, he thrusts it in again, making her love juices splash. She moans as she feels his dick go all the way to the bottom of her love cave. He squeezes her thigh as he continues to move, using different intensities and speeds, leaving her pussy in a pleasurable mess and her mind blank. NGGH. So good nha. Kara's moans echo through the small cave while those magical flowers and fire crystals are witnesses of the moment in which he rocked her world. She comes many while it gets harder and harder for Lucien not to come. His cock really wants to release a special milk blast inside that tight pussy and make his adorable little maid pregnant. Each time he pushes his cock to the bottom of her love cave, its tip kisses the entrance to her baby room for a longer time until the ideal moment comes. Then he holds her leg tightly and pushes his cock against her baby room before releasing the hot load of baby seeds. At the same time, he passionately kisses Kara on the lips. She moans louder than ever and touches her forehead to his as she feels him filling her insides with that hot liquid that she loves so much. This is so much better than drinking it. She thinks before her mind goes completely blank, and she can't think of anything anymore. Her body goes limp due to so much pleasure, but her pussy keeps squeezing Lucien's cock as much as it can, milking every drop of his hot essence. Lucien continues to kiss Kara's face while she rubs her nose on his cheek. Their breaths are heavy as they both enjoy their orgasms. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Time quickly passes while Kara doesn't want to move. She just wants to stay in that position, with Lucien kissing her lips with his and the bottom of her pussy with his cock. Then he stops kissing and smiles at her. Are we going to try another position for the second round? Ha ha ha. Kara starts laughing with happiness. She knew it was going to be good, but in the end, it was better than she could have ever imagined. Now she can't imagine going a day without having Lucien thrusting his cock hard inside her pussy. Yeah, let's try as many positions as you want, my beloved husband. Chapter 457. Older sisters, you are listening at novelfull.audio. Knock knock, Donna, are you alright? While listening to Eve's voice behind the door, Donna panics, thinking that she heard her conversation about Lucien. She quickly looks at Wrath with a concerned expression, and the great demon dematerializes her body, returning to Donna's soul. Yes, I'm fine, you can come in. She speaks. Eve opens the bedroom door and sees Donna sitting on the bed with a strange expression. She also doesn't see anyone in the room, but she heard voices talking a few seconds ago. Were you talking to Wrath? She asks. Yeah. Donna replies as she tries to force a relaxed expression, which definitely doesn't work. We were talking about training, skills, and the like. Eve looks at Donna with a loving and concerned expression as she walks over to the bed and sits on its edge. Are you really okay? And what about your relationship with Wrath? We're fine. Donna replies as she looks away. Why do you ask? She smiles. We've always talked before. But since it all started, we didn't have time for things like that anymore. I just want to talk to you, my beloved sister. Donna also smiles when she hears Eve's words. They've always talked about everything before, and it's weird that they haven't done that for a long time. I understand. In fact, I really missed talking to you. Things have been hard and Wrath is not a kind partner that listens to me. She explains. Eve settles on the bed, sitting in a lotus position in front of Donna. Pride is also not very kind, and our conversations are almost always about her complaining. Donna sighs. It's so hard to deal with these demons. I don't know how Lucy and Lust get along so well. I think he just adapted to the situation and accepted what we are now. We are still ourselves, Eve comments as she takes her sister's hand. I know things are confusing, especially after Lucien, Sophia, and Amelia did those things. But we are still a family, and I know we are a family. Donna quickly interrupts Eve. But you can't deny that we are no longer human. I feel different every day, closer to Wrath, and similar to her. After the contract, we started to become something else, and it looks like Lucy was already prepared for that. It looks like he was just waiting to be the real him. Eve understands what Donna means. When she looks at Lucien and Lust, she doesn't know for sure who is the great demon and the host anymore. She smiles. Yes, it looks like he was made for this. Not just to be Lust's partner, but also to lead the others. Not while I'm here. Pride speaks in Eve's mind, making it clear that she still considers herself the leader of the 7 great demons even though she already respects Lucien a lot. Eve ignores Pride's complaints and keeps talking to Donna. I really understand what you mean. I also feel different every day, closer to Pride. I feel infinite arrogance growing inside of me, and everyone around me except my beloved ones seem less important, insignificant ants. As she speaks, her aura spreads around the room, and Donna feels an instinctive desire to kneel and praise Eve. She has always loved and respected her big sis a lot, but now it is different. Eve looks like a supreme queen who surpasses all other persons in immeasurable ways. And when Donna starts having trouble breathing, that aura disappears as Eve shakes her head and looks at her sister with a loving expression. But then, when I start to lose myself in these dominant feelings, I stop and think about my family, the ones I love more than anything. My siblings, Eve explains. She strokes Donna's face. You, Lucy, and our other sisters are the reason for my life. All I do is to give you love and protection. So it doesn't matter if it is our father, Pride, or even this damn bloody Rose, nothing is going to change the fact that I am above all, your big sis. While Donna is touched by Eve's words, Pride is impressed. She knows how dominant her nature is and how it influences Eve, but even so, she remains true to her personality. Well, Pride chose Eve mainly for her personality and not the fact that she was older and stronger than her siblings. Yet, Eve continues to impress Pride with her physical and mental strength. It seems easy when you talk like that. Donna comments. But you don't understand how difficult it is for us to resist these feelings. You, big sis, are so strong. But I'm not like that, I'm going crazy with this chaotic energy growing inside me. Eve put her hands on Donna's shoulders. You have to control that energy until we figure out how to stop it. I wish I could help you with that, but only you can control your energy. No one can do it for you. Donna makes a thoughtful and hesitant expression. He can. He can help me. Him. Who are you talking about? Eve asks while she has an idea of who Donna is talking about. You know, Lucy. She answers. Sophia and Amelia said that whenever they feel this chaotic energy driving them crazy, they look for him, and her face starts to flush. They do things. And then they quickly feel good, stronger, and in control of their own feelings. Eve can't help but blush a little too as she imagines what things Donna is talking about. But then she quickly shakes her head. Are you really serious about it? This is not so wrong, right? Donna asks. You just said that we are still a family and we should help each other, so why is it wrong to let him help me? That's not the problem. Eve sighs. Is Wrath forcing you to do that? Pride told me something like this was going to happen. She said that Wrath usually demands too much from her hosts, and she looks into her sister's eyes. I know how you are feeling, Donna. I know you since you were just a kid, and I understand that you felt really bad when Lucy fought Alexa. You felt weak and wanted to be able to help him, but this is not the right thing to do. I love you, big sis, but Donna looks into Eve's eyes. You're wrong about it. You just agreed with me that we're changing, so why not accept our demonic and sinful side as Lucy? Being stuck with old rules and stupid morals is not going to get us anywhere. Eve shakes her head as she gets up from the bed and starts pacing around the bedroom. So what is better to do? Indulge in this madness and fuck your brother as Sophia and Amelia. Donna's face gets even more flushed while she feels terrible about that. It's not that. You should be helping me to keep our family together, Donna, Eve speaks. But do you want to contribute to this insanity? I don't know why Sophia developed such feelings for Lucy, but Amelia was due to jealousy. What about you? You were always so strong, so doing it out of weakness doesn't make sense. But I am weak. Donna screams and quickly tries to calm down. I feel weak, useless, helpless. I saw my little brother being beaten over and over, and I couldn't do anything. I know that it was his plan, and Alexa wouldn't kill him, but what will happen when he is facing a real powerful enemy? We will be there, beside him. Eve quickly responds. We are going to get stronger and protect each other, as always. Donna sighs. You can't see it, sis. Maybe it's your natural arrogance, Pride's influence, or the bloody Rose. Probably a mix of everything. But anyway, you can't see that you're too strong, but I don't. Without his help, I'm going to get further and further behind and just be a burden to you. While Eve doesn't know what to do to motivate Donna, she continues. I'm not saying I'm going to fuck him. I also don't have romantic feelings for him. But he can still help me. She explains. He said that any pleasure could be enough to generate a lot of demonic energy. He can give me that mark, allowing me to have more time to train within his soul realm, and I don't know, but I'm sure we don't need to do extreme things. Eve understands what Donna means. She herself had already thought a lot about the advantages of having a soul contract with Lucien. Mental communication and the purple world seem to be very good benefits to ignore. But with that comes the chance that their relationship as siblings could be completely ruined and that one day they will realize that they fucked it up. I will not stop you from doing this if you think it is the best, Eve speaks hesitantly. We could do it together. Donna comments as she gets up from the bed and touches Eve's shoulder. It's not wrong for us as siblings to become even closer. No shit, just family love. You know I can't do it. Eve pats Donna's hand as she sighs. I raised you, I saw you go from weeping little children to beautiful, strong young adults. I see Lucy, you, and our other sisters as my children, and that's why I could never do anything like that. Donna smiles lovingly. Yeah, that's you, our big sis. Always taking care of us and helping us to be better people. I've always admired you for being like that, and I won't stop admiring you even if you don't accept that we need to change along with Lucy. Eve also smiles as she walks towards the door. It was a good conversation. I'll support you if that's what you want to do, so. Just don't end up like Amelia, developing such feelings for him. I will not mess it up, Donna speaks in a determined tone. But a part of her, a profound part, is still confused about the feelings she experienced when she spent that time alone with Lucien on the day of his ceremony. After leaving Donna's bedroom, Eve closes the door and rests her back on it while sighing and reflecting on that conversation. I don't believe things are going this way. She will certainly end up falling in love with him too. While she fears that her family ends up too messed up, pride speaks in her mind. You know she's right about the benefits of having a soul contract with him, right? Also, his energy seems very efficient in strengthening us. More than I could ever imagine. You too? Eve asks sarcastically. I thought you were against accepting help from others, especially from lust. You said she was so weak, stupid, and immoral. And does now you want to beg for their power? Pride materializes her body in front of Eve and looks at her with an arrogant expression. We are not going to beg anything, ever. But think about it. All women evolve to better versions of themselves after accepting his energy. What would we, who are already perfect, become with him? Then do it yourself. Eve speaks as she starts walking towards her bedroom. I would never stop you from fucking him. And he seems to really want to fuck you, so you can do it as much as you want. She shakes her head as he walks behind Eve. I just don't want to do it right now. I don't want to let him get too overconfident. So let's stick to the plan. Eve comments. Or am I not getting strong fast enough for you? You are one of the best, if not the best host I have ever had. Probably due to the bloody rose. Pride comments while knowing that Eve is very compatible with her, not because of the bloody rose, but because of her character. But before Eve says anything, Pride continues. But what? If I say that by accepting his energy and fucking him, would you gain enough power to go now to your homeworld and destroy all your enemies there? No one in the whole immortal realm could face you two really together, and you could rescue her. Really? Eve asks out loud. Chapter 458. Not a request. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A new day is born in Port Green City. In the streets, people celebrate the prosperity of the king and his many queens joyfully. In the purple world, those many queens sleep on the king's large bed with pleased expressions after several hours of marital fun. In the great royal castle, Ron is very happy with Lucien's visit and prepares another banquet for Kara's birthday in the main hall on the second floor. But in the corridors on the third floor, two women walk with weary eyes and dark circles. It is evident that they did not sleep well the last night. In fact, Eve and Donna didn't sleep for a second. They spent the whole night thinking about various things, and although they can go several days without sleep due to their power level, the lack of sleep still leaves their bodies tired. They walk together and, in silence, to the kitchen, looking for a good breakfast to strengthen their bodies. Then they smile as they go down the stairs and see a majestic breakfast waiting for them in the hall. "Your Majesty, ma'am." The servants quickly kneel as they greet Eve respectfully. "Your Royal Highness, ma'am." So they greet Donna in a very respectful way too. Donna smiles, showing her sharp teeth like fangs. "This is much better than living in that damn cold fortress where we were treated as weapons. I could live like this forever." Eve nods. "I like this too, and I wish we could live like this." Then a familiar and full of affection voice comes from behind them. "We are going to live like this, or rather, much better than this, when we are all together and well, I promise." Lucien's voice arouses the feminine feelings of every woman in the hall, and even his sisters are not entirely immune to that. If that weren't enough, he stands behind his sisters and hugs both of them by the shoulders. "Good morning, dear sisters." He talks and kisses their cheeks, making the other woman almost die of jealousy. It is a pity that envy is not there to absorb all that demonic energy. Eve blushes as she tries to force her body not to get horny, which is very difficult. "Morning, Lucy. Did you sleep well?" Donna blushes even more. "Morning, brother. Where are the girls?" Lucien starts walking toward the table while continuing to hug his sisters. "I really managed to sleep for a few hours today. I think it was because you are with me, and it makes me more relaxed." "And the girls?" He knows that explaining their current situation will make his sisters more embarrassed, and teasing them looks so fun. "You know, we spent the night getting stronger, having fun, doing things of husband and wife, you can call it what you want. Anyway, they just started sleeping a few hours ago and are too exhausted to get out of bed." Eve and Donna get even more flushed while they can't stop their minds from imagining many women in bed with exhausted expressions, and somehow, they are sure that even asleep, there must be smiles on their faces now. "You could just say that they will come later," Eve comments. They arrive at the table, and he stops hugging his sisters to get a piece of bread and eat. Then he teasingly smiles at Eve. "Yeah, they'll come later. A lot, like every day, you know." Donna starts laughing and quickly turns her face away as she sits down at the table and starts eating a piece of cake, but Eve doesn't like Lucien's bold response at all. "Pa," she slaps him on the shoulder. "Damn Lucy. Can't you think of anything but naughty things?" "Not when I'm happy." He quickly responds while picking up two cookies on the table and tossing one to Donna, who picks it up in the air. Eve fears she is completely losing her morale as a big sister and quickly tries to slap Lucien again. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, but no matter how hard she tries, he can easily dodge her blows, making it clear that his agility grows a lot every day due to his hard work with his wives. He flies over the table and sits on a chair next to Donna. Eve realizes that running after him doesn't do any good, so she sits at the table too but gazes at him with a fake upset look while actually mentally praising him for his growing power. Before Lucien can get any more food from the table, Lust materializes her body on his lap, picks up some cookies, and starts giving them to him in the mouth. While Donna rolls her eyes, Eve shakes her head. Is that the kind of posture a wife should have at the table? Especially when not at home. Lust smiles as she sticks her finger completely into Lucien's mouth to give him a cookie, and he sucks on her finger. "I don't care what others think, but what is good for my husband and me." While Eve sighs, pride materializes her body sitting on a chair. Lust has always been like that, a shameless woman. Wrath materializes her body on a chair next to Donna and takes a cookie while smiling at her. Do you want me to do something like that for you? Donna ignores Wrath as she picks up more cookies from the table. Don't speak nonsense. Lucien smiles as he sees the sins interact with his sisters. Pride and Wrath are not kind at all, but they look more and more like a big family. After eating some cookies, Lucien takes a mug of coffee and gets up. Eve quickly makes a sad expression. Aren't you going to have breakfast with us? I just wanted to see how you were doing, but I also want to see how the city is doing while we are here. We will continue the journey right after lunch. He explains. I see. Eve comments as she looks at Donna, who is trying to look away. But before you go, you should talk to Donna, she wants to say something to you, right, sister? Donna panics because she doesn't know what to do and also doesn't understand why Eve said that. Wasn't she against it? And now, what should I do? Lucien notices that Donna is shy and hesitant, which gives him an idea of what she wants to talk about. Then he smiles kindly at her. Come with me, let's walk around the town and talk. Donna gets up, picks some cookies from the table, and follows Lucien while looking at Eve with a thoughtful expression. He walks toward the corridor and winks at Eve as he passes her. She shakes her head and continues to drink coffee, but her lips curve in a gentle smile. Lust, pride, and wrath look at each other before they return to the souls of their hosts. That situation is unlike anything they have ever experienced, which makes everything seem more exciting. As they walk towards the castle's exit, Lucien and Donna are respectfully greeted by all the castle's servants. While all men avoid looking at her body, women gaze at him with excited and dreamy expressions. Donna doesn't like those looks as she can feel that all women want to steal Lucien only for them. I believe that almost all women have this kind of feeling. Everyone wants to be the only one with him. Lucy. She tries to start the conversation but doesn't know what to say. My king. When they arrive at the castle gate, Ron approaches them with a happy expression. My friend. Lucien taps Ron on the shoulders in a very friendly way. So Ron greets Donna in a very respectful way, too, before speaking to Lucien. You're going to stay for lunch, right? I'm taking care of everything so Kara can eat all her favorite foods. Yeah, Lucien nods. I'm just going for a walk around town while you're done preparing the feast. Sounds good, Ron comments, but then he makes a thoughtful expression. However, I don't think you will have a peaceful walk as everyone will want to greet the king and will probably follow you around town. Lucien understands that his fame in Port Green can disrupt his conversation with Donna, so he thinks about something while his body starts to glow with gray energy. Donna and Wrath feel Lucien using Envy's energy, but they don't understand what he is doing. Then they see Ron's expression changing to shock. How do I look? He asks Ron. You. Ron can't believe he just saw Lucien change his body completely, making his horns and wings disappear and his face change to that of a simple man. But to Donna, he still looks the same, so he quickly explains. I changed my appearance, but it only works on people with a power level below mine. This is an incredible skill, Ron comments. It would be perfect for spying. I'm sure of that. Lucien laughs. Then he signals to Donna as he walks out of the castle. We will be back soon. Donna follows Lucien while trying to see any changes in his body but notices nothing except the fact that he is channeling Envy's demonic energy. Can Amelia do it too? She asks as she walks beside Lucien. He quickly nods. I think so. I still don't have a lot of control over Envy's energy, but this is easy. Wrath and Donna are surprised at the way Lucien uses another sin's demonic energy. So this is how it works. I mean, can you really use all of Amelia and Sophia's skills that easily? Not quite, Lucien explains. I don't know exactly how it works, and even Lust doesn't seem so sure about it either. But yes, Sophia, Amelia, and I share our power. I think that at some point, they will be able to use my demonic energy to use any of our abilities. That looks really incredible. Donna's eyes shine as she thinks out loud. I think that is the real meaning of fighting side by side as a united family. Lucien smiles. Yep, only together will we be able to overcome all this shit that was thrown at us. Donna agrees as she continues to walk alongside Lucien through the streets of Port Green City. Everyone around them sees Lucien as just a simple person, as they have no way of knowing that he is the handsome devil due to his disguise. But Donna draws a lot of attention because of her incredible beauty, and many even recognize the similarity between her and her brother. However, her brutal aura makes everyone sure that approaching her is not a good idea. Also, she walks carrying her great red axe to train her control over soul weapons, and also gives one more reason for anyone to hinder her time with Lucien. Lucien is happy to see how happy and peaceful the people of Port Green are. He knows how important that kingdom is to Cassidy and shares her concerns. After a few minutes of silence, he realizes that Donna is not going to start the conversation, so he does. So, you don't look sure about it. Does he know what it is about? She wonders. Well. Donna doesn't know how to ask for his help, so she remembers that he promised to do something for her, and that request could be anything. Do you remember that you promised to fulfill a request from me? She asks. Yes, he nods. Do you have something in mind? I want you to help me get stronger. He speaks quickly. That is not a valid request. He responds quickly too. Donna is perplexed. Why? He stops walking and smiles at her with a loving expression. Because helping my beloved sister must never be a request, it is my duty as a brother and something that I will always be happy to do.